Welcome to the Tanya Hoffman's Fabulous TV Show. I am Tanya Hoffman, and this is my fabulous TV show because why? I have the most incredibly fabulous guests ever on my show. So my guest star today, okay, y'all ready? Y'all know because you've probably have seen him before, and you probably were like, wow. Yes, I have him on again. It's the incredible Mr. Fox Beyer. Hey, Fox.
Tanya, how are you today?
Absolutely fabulous. I adore Fox. He came and spoke at our conference, one of the top poets in the world. And what I love is that he's teaching our youth in the school system, and he gets them for extra credit to come on and listen to him speak. I mean, how great is that?
That's a fact.
I was like, oh, extra credit. Like the little schoolgirl in me was like, oh, I want extra credit.
Just a little bartering, that's all.
Nice. So tell me, what do you have going on nowadays, Mr. Fox?
Well, I mean, I do a lot. I try to get out there and speak every week. I have a podcast out. It's called What's Your Inspiration? And on that show, I talk to various people about what makes them them. And we share stories, and we reflect on books that we're reading, and movies we've watched, and people that have had an enormous impact on us. It started in December, and we just finished our 10th episode last night. So that's been a blast.
I know, right? I absolutely love this because not only are you, getting to experience somebody fabulous, but then the world gets to experience them as well, right?
Yes. I mean, you really... I really try to ask questions that bring out their fabulousness. What I love doing is replaying it and and I make up a little bit of a highlight reel before I put the actual entire podcast out. I love going back and, you're in interview mode when you go through it the first time, and then you're in listener mode the second time. And I love just hearing them. We had Barney Kramer on it a couple of weeks ago, and Barney is such a great storyteller and such a great speaker. And he said so many profound things. I found myself driving into work the next day quoting him. A quote about Popeye. No said not to know, but it's not a sin not to know. And I am what I am. That's all that I am. But I hope it's a good I am. Those things just ring in your head. So I love that process of just going back through and bringing out the best in my guests.
That's awesome. So, when you start looking at going to school and you've got all these young minds and everything, my parents are still disappointed that I didn't become an official teacher for kids,
Right.
Even though I teach like every day, but it's different. So do you see, I always hear people, they're like, oh, our kids nowadays, they're just, not there. But I don't really see that. What do you see coming from the inside?
I just think it's different because of the influx of technology, and it's learning how to use those tools to bring the best out of them. When I first started teaching in 2005, YouTube had just started. And, back then it was like a sin to have a cell phone in the room. And now what I'm trying to do is have it all on their phones.
Yeah.
And to make the class paperless. And it's really teaching, to me, it's about two things. One is, and we'll talk about this later, is being a good model of behavior, because that's what they're watching. Of anything that I've done, I got my master's in curriculum and instruction. And yes, you have to teach the content, but it's so important to, like my college baseball coach would tell me, Coach Tanner, be the right kind of guy all of the time, because whether you want to or not, you are a model for them. And the second thing is catching them doing something right. They're 14, 15, 16 years old, and they're going to act their age at times. But I got great advice early on in my student teaching from Steve Ryan. Catch them doing something right. If they give you a great answer, make them repeat it almost put them up on that soapbox or that throne to show other students, this is what I want you to do. And I've never forgotten that.
Nice. I know it's really interesting. My son is 13. He just turned 13. He's already 6 foot tall. You're like, oh, my big baby, And the other day he's playing a game. It's a war game, kill and be killed. But he's rattling off countries, right? He knows his geography because they all have to, go. And now there's an alien race coming to attack. And he's like, oh, no, they're now in Germany and they're going to be over in Poland pretty soon. And, oh, Russia better watch out. And I'm like, at his age, I don't think I could have rattled off all the countries and all the little ones that I'm like, I didn't even know where that was.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
So there's good things. People always want to focus on the negative, right?
Yes, we have a tendency to do that in today's society. I mean, I guess it's because, to use a cliche, misery loves company. I mean, if you watch the news, the news here, 75-80% of it is negative. So people are surrounded by that. It takes a relentless person to be positive all the time. And it's not just about necessarily thinking positively, but practicing positive self-talk. To think of it in a school sense, I wouldn't, as a student, think, I'm going to get an A on this test. How about this? I've studied, I'm prepared, I'm going to show the teacher what I know. So I try to instill that in my students instead of just saying, I'm going to get an A. Well, prepare yourself first.
Right, love it. So I've got a question for you.
Shoot.
So do you find that there's people out there that's like, wah, wah, wah. And you're like, really? What do you have to wah about? Because, you've got a lot of physical, real challenges, right?
Yes.
And does it really get a grip sometimes?
Yeah, there's a couple of things come to mind. I see it every day. This is from my father. My dad would tell me, and has told me yesterday, there's two people. And in today's society, people always have a tendency to think this way: nobody has it worse than me. I was taught to think no one has it better than me. And growing up, I was taken care of. I have 3 siblings. We've lived a great life. One rule in our house: no complaining. Complaining could only make a bad situation worse.
Nice.
So yeah, I see it all the time. It's a battle. Yes, I have a hard time going up and down stairs, but humor is a good weapon. Yeah. And if you're able to make jokes about it without stopping caring, if that makes any sense, humor can be an awesome weapon. But, and you know me, you've known me for a while now, I always reflect on the thousands of people in this world that have it worse than I do. I have a lot going for me. Why don't we talk about the good stuff to try to forget about the bad stuff?
Yeah.
And I think about that.
Well, and I think that's why, you do have an incredible humor, and your poetry really pulls from a lot of that, right? So it's very insightful versus a lot of people's poetry is just kind of fluffy and just kind of, there's not a basis. Yours always seems to have a base, and that's really what I love about it.
Thank you. I try to make it incredibly personal, and that's the only way I know how to write. Someone told me, Fox, write from where you are. You don't necessarily have to be inspired to write. How are you feeling right now? Let's reflect on it. And the book itself, the poem started coming out when I would hear something to me that was catchy. Syntax is not intelligence. That just rung in my head. And I wrote a poem called Syntax is Not Intelligence, Unlettered is Not Stupid. Now those aren't my words, but the poem that came after that, they are my words. So yeah, I try to make it incredibly, personal. And like I told you, they were supposed to be songs, but I'm not a musician, so they end up being poems. And I try to make them sing-songy so I could remember them And before you knew it, I had a book. So it's been a lot of fun.
That's awesome. I was just talking to a lady today, and people get really wrapped up in the way things should be, right? Instead of just being. She was like, I need a brand, and I need to know my target market, and I need this, and I need that, and before I even start. And I'm like, why don't you just get started, see how things develop, and then move from there,
Right.
And too many people keep themselves from progressing because they're just stuck in that whole rhetoric.
Yeah, the only thing you can do is try and know that, to not to use another cliche line, but the best teacher in life is experience. And you've got to go out there and try to see what works. And part of life is learning how to deal with failure. I read a book a while back called Mind Gym, and it really talks a lot about that, a lot of life. And you've been through a ton, I've been through a ton, and I know we think this way, we're better because of the experiences that we've had.
Yeah.
We're not, I don't think we say, thank God I went through that, but we made a choice for those things that happened to us to make us better.
Yeah.
Attitude, it's a mindset. That's what it is.
It is, and I was talking to a friend one time. We both went to this conference. I was speaking at it, and it was kind of it was the most depressing conference I've ever been at, but it was all about our stories, what had happened to us. And, it was just like this one horrific thing after another. And by the time I got up, I couldn't even go over mine because I'm like, I need to cheer these people up. We're all, I was like, okay, we got to do something different. So I ended up doing something different. And afterwards, a lady came over. She's like, thank you for making us laugh. I really needed that. I said, yeah, I could go over my stuff, and they were horrific. But at this point, I just knew that y'all needed to laugh. And she goes, I feel so bad. She goes, all my life, I've just been whining about losing my job and that it was such a big impact on me. And then here y'all are going through like horrific things. Mm-hmm. I'm like, don't discount what you went through. It's still your life, and it's still something that you went through. And I think that's a problem for a lot of people.
Yeah, they get stuck in the past. Too much. It's great to take a walk down memory lane sometimes, but there's a reason why our eyes are in the front of our heads and not in the back. Let's see where we're going. Like you said, to use one of your lines, life is about creating yourself, constantly creating yourself, and that line alone is very inspiring. So happiness becomes a choice. You and I know that.
Exactly. Yeah. And and being around new friends and developing friendships that are going to be here forever. I adore our friendship.
It's great. I thank goodness God for it every single day. You've taught me a lot, and basically, again, modeling the correct kind of behavior. And you wouldn't know this about you, but when we spoke last, you're the kind of person that likes to kind of go in the corner in a room, but you force yourself to go over there and mingle because that's going to benefit you. And when you said that, I said, wow, I didn't know you like that, but now that you've said that, I have an obligation every day now to push myself beyond my means just because you said that.
Oh, I know I have a little sticker on my computer, one of the little sticky notes, and it says, wow yourself today. And because I have to remind myself, that I can do more. I just got to get out of my own way. He goes, yeah, I know. It's kind of crazy. And people are like, what? And even I just got back from Florida, and I decided, because I had a lady come up, she goes, well, you just don't understand what I'm going through. And I'm like, oh yeah, because we all like, oh, Fox is awesome. He's a big poet and everyone loves him, and they gloss over that somehow their life is so much more miserable.
Right, exactly. We spoke before. People have a tendency to think that way. No one has it worse than me. And we don't think that way. You and I don't. It's no one has it better than me. If we make that a part of our mindset, we'll be a lot better off.
Exactly. So tell us, what do you have to offer our incredible listeners today?
I would love to offer you this, and it's my book, Letter Kindling, Igniting, Inspiring, Evoking the Fire Within. It's the book that we spoke of. Now, I really enjoyed what I wrote, but also I very much enjoy looking at the illustrations. Many of them, most of them, are by my good buddy Stephen Whetstone, a college teammate and lifelong friend of mine, who I will interview tomorrow for the What's Your Inspiration podcast. So if you would like, please email me off my website, foxbeyer.com, FOXBEYER.com, and I would love to send you a brand spanking new book of letter kindling, igniting, inspiring, and evoking the fire within.
Okay, but I want all those papers sticking out.
Yes, there are a lot of notes. See, there are a lot of memories here, so and I make them part of my speeches and stuff. So yes,
yeah,
a lot of hard work, a lot of Post-it notes. People, check it out.
Love it. Oh, I just adore that you've been on my show, and I can't wait to interview you for the world's most fabulous people, because you obviously are one of those. So, so everyone, please take advantage of Fox's book offer. Just like go and get it, because you're just going to love it. Share it with your friends, your family, your children, your grandparents. I don't care who you share it, just share it, and just get connected with him. So go to Fox. That's FOX Beyer BEYER.com and grab that book today. All right, everybody. So I will have another show with another fabulous guest pretty soon. So thanks, Fox. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, Tanya. Take good care.